Hi everyone. I want to talk to you about the Animal Welfare Act of 2006. The Animal Welfare Act of 2006 came out after the Lisbon Treaty of 1999. The Lisbon Treaty declared animals as sentient beings. When these treaties, laws, rules, and regulations are made in the EU, although it exists at the EU, it doesn't actually exist in each individual country until the individual country actually incorporates it into their own rules, laws, acts, or legislation. The government is actually guilty in the United Kingdom since 1999 of not incorporating the status of animals as sentient beings in acts, rules, laws, or legislation. When the Animal Welfare Act came out in 2006, if you read this act, it deemed animals as property. Therefore, the RSPCA, they run around as private prosecutors doing absolutely private prosecutions using donation money, and they will never get a conviction on someone who actually commits a crime or murder on an animal, as animals are not deemed as sentient beings in law. They're deemed as property, so no one gets a proper conviction. They might get a 100 or 200 pound fine. If they own an animal, then they'll also get a band with it to 5 or 10 years, and that's about it. Just slaps on wrists. No real justice for the animal that's been brutally murdered. If animals were sentient beings also were in effect in acts, rules, and laws in the United Kingdom, it would affect the status of BSL dogs, because these are dogs that are only based on looks, just instantly stolen and killed, and people are fighting for their beloved animals, which is just so wrong to be based on looks. It's just ridiculous. Also, it would affect the status of animals such as cows, etc., that are being slaughtered via halal, just bleeding to death. That's hardly a sentient being treatment status. Also, it would affect all wildlife, such as birds, foxes, badgers, etc. My goodness, we know that hunters run around with their dogs, having their dogs rip animals to shreds, and hunters deliberately, cruelly murdering animals such as foxes and badgers, and even the government DEFRA itself being absolutely derelict. In today, we have modern treatments and cures and medication for animals that are sick with diseases such as TB or bird flu, and all it takes is one sign of just one bird flu, and DEFRA just want to announce a massive killing spree. The same thing with TB. One claim an animal has TB, and a massive killing spree on badgers. Now, this is ridiculous. Absolutely. It's certain people in this country playing God, judge, and jury on life. And the RSPCA is very guilty of playing God, judge, and jury. Charity workers at a low level, they call themselves with the rank of inspector or title of inspector. They have no qualifications in, they're not a legitimate DEFRA inspector. They're not a legitimate police officer, and they're not a legitimate vet either. And little charity workers run around to people. All they get is a bully boy call, you've got an old animal, and they're rushing in to steal the animal and kill it. This is hardly treating an animal as sentient beings. The RSPCA charity workers, they are known for bolt gunning animals to death, healthy animals. They're known for killing 50,000 animals a year. The RSPCA, they also run their own animal eating program, and this is hardly an animal charity that deems animals as sentient beings if they're killing and eating animals. My personal case is I do have a bully boy neighbor who has been victimizing me for a very long time, where I've received RSPCA harassment for years now, about 6 years. And one night I got beat up by a bully boy neighbor, and the police officer was actually derelict in this investigations, and this police officer himself has actually organized a raid on my home to steal my animals. It's a no-charge warrant, and the warrant has actually been used 2 times on me. I have had serious perverting of justice occur in a courtroom, and I am working working to obtain justice on this as quickly as possible, because right now, not only has no charge warrants has been used on me 2 times, the same one, to steal my animals and sell them. The perverting of justice is very serious, because now the RSPCA, they own my home. They've stolen my dogs. I have no charges. They've sold my dogs. I have no charges. I'm continuously being harassed, and now the RSPCA own my home as a result of perverting of justice. Documents were put upon the court that were not actually given to me to address and dispute in the court, so therefore very serious obstruction and perverting of justice occurred. And yes, I'm on a major campaign for rights for me, because I know that I love animals, and I know that every animal I have ever owned has made old bones. I also believe, which the RSPCA do not believe, in herbal treatments and homeopathy. Mankind has been on this planet for many centuries, thousands and thousands of years, and herbal treatments and homeopathy are the best remedies. They are an alternative medicine and treatment, and is less distressing than modern day medicine.